Hey, happy Tuesday. Yes. Yes. The Daily Dope is in the air, so come on in, pull up a chair. Howdy, gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at the Daily Dope. Yay! Sponsored by, I shouldn't say sponsored by, presented by thegaminggang.com. Today is episode 253 of the Daily Dope. It has been crazy day today. If you are a longtime viewer, you'll notice some things are going to be a little different. Mess around with cameras, mess around in how close the camera is to me, and trying to work on different encoding through the program that I utilize. I will talk about that in just a minute. I apologize, I am late, but I am actually going to be unboxing and taking a first look at the Boldest from Stronghold Games. This is a game that's on the horizon. Seems very interesting. It is another Sophia Wagner design, who designed Noria for Stronghold Games. So I think this might be her second design, second published design possibly. So, anywho, do want to point out this is a live stream, although I know a great majority of people actually watch after the fact. But if you are watching live, there is chat available on YouTube. If you have a question, you want to say hello, or maybe as we're taking a look at the Boldest, there's something you want a closer peek at, by all means, please chime in. Whew. Yes, I am a few minutes late today. Last night, I apologize, it was out of my control, really. And I'm just taking a look. We look to be all right. So last night, I'm doing a review for Millennium Blades, which is a blast. It's a great game. It was a long, I did it how to play and gave you my review, and I gave it a 9.1 out of 10. I like it that much, even though there's some things about it that I'm like, I'm not a fan. We enjoyed it so much, I gave it a 9.1. Well, during the whole show, the CPU must have been spiking up. And I take a look to see what are like drop frames, because when it's like choppy, when it kind of breaks up and stuff like that. And as of late, we would start off the show with some drop frames, and it was like, what the hell's going on here? So I kind of played around with some of the encoding, and I may have messed up and had the CPU usage way too high, because the entire video is kind of choppy. The audio's fine. The actual video's kind of choppy, and I'm like, So what I'm doing now is not to get too technical. I've swapped some stuff around. I've changed some settings. I'm trying to put more of the heavy lifting, I guess, for streaming this on my graphics card, which is pretty rockin', as opposed to my CPU, as opposed to the desktop computer itself, which is like an i5. Yeah, it's nothing fabulous, but it's not, not a piece of crap. I can play almost every, video game, PC game that's out there. So, fingers crossed tonight. I have bumped up the frames per second a little bit, because I thought before that maybe we were dropping frames because the frames per second was too high. But I'm kind of thinking that it may have been dropping frames because of the CPU usage. So, we will find out in just a bit. Anywho, do want to mention, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you check out some of the videos on the Gaming Gang channel and happen to like them, please subscribe. Be sure to ring the bell, because what that'll do is not only notify you of when a new video is on the channel, but it'll also tell you when I am streaming live. And I always try to be on at 7 o'clock Central Time, but I was a little out of sync as far as the audio tonight, and I still had to mess around with some of the cameras, so I was about 10 minutes late. But I see Ghost World is popping in. Hey, Ghost. The visuals for Millennium Blade wasn't the prettiest game anyway. Well, the artwork's kind of eh. It's neither here nor there. It's not something I was like, wow, this artwork's blowing me away. And it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this artwork is so horrible. I can't even check it out. So it goes to say, nice and smooth. Looks pretty crispy. Okay, fingers crossed, man. Let's not jinx it. So, good to have Ghost on board. So I only have a couple of news pieces today. And we're going to jump into those. And we're going to take a look at the Boldest, which I got to admit, I am pumped to check this out because it seems like Noria was a very unique design. It was very, very different. Kind of like this wheel building, this disc kind of building game. But the theme, it wasn't very thematic for what it was supposed to be. Cool, puzzly kind of Euro game, but not really dripping in theme. The Boldest looks pretty interesting, and it looks like it might have some pretty good theme to it as well. So we're going to jump into that, and then, of course, I will also talk about what's coming up on future episodes this week. So let's jump on into the news. I know some folks do not like the tabletop gaming news. If that's the case, please look in the show notes below, and you can skip right past. I will have time codes in there. I only have 2 news pieces today, so it's not really that big a deal, but you know how people are. But do want to point out there is a quick-playing science fiction game which just launched on Kickstarter today for a company called Portal Dragon, which I am not overly familiar with, but they've got a few games out there. And in fact, I guess they're sending them to me to check out. But here's the dope on Planetoid. The quick tile-based game Planetoid, players are going to take on the role of a space miner and attempt to collect more resources or bonuses than their competition. Will you scan to find the most valuable resources? Nah, I probably won't. Or collect common resources to achieve bonuses? If there's not much work involved in that, yeah, that's probably what I do. You can drill, so you can take a tile from the board and reveal all the adjacent tiles. You can scan. Look at 2 tiles, store energy for later use. You can ship. Save resources from your player board for end-of-game scoring and collect matching bonuses. Play continues until all tiles have been revealed or all bonuses have been acquired. Player with the most points, you guessed it, wins. The advanced mode follows using an action point system to allow for more strategic turns, adds secret bonuses, and the ability to actually upgrade your ship. There's also a solo mode where you can race against time for resource-hungry aliens, or I'm sorry, you're racing resource-hungry aliens, and complete your tasks before the planetoid is consumed. There is a Kickstarter video, so let's take a quick peek at Planetoid because the images I have really are not doing the game design justice.
Planetoid is a 1 to 4 player game of memory and set collection. As members of the Autonomous Miners Guild, your ship, the Calypso, and its crew have ventured out to the Kuiper Belt to seek their fortune. Use your abilities to find the best resources, but be careful what you leave behind. Each time you drill, you'll expose the surrounding resources for other players, so use your scanners to secretly locate valuable resources. Will you seek out the rarest resources or fill repair orders to gain credits? In the end, those who clear the most of each resource will receive a modest reward, and the player with the most credits wins. Advanced drillers access additional abilities, allowing for more strategic turns. Also, you can access secret endgame bonuses and upgrade your runner with powerful new abilities. Venture even further into deep space and battle resource-hungry aliens in the solo mode. Planetoid. Find your fortune.
Oh yeah! So, one thing I do want to mention before I kind of sum up this Kickstarter, there was an update to the program that I use to stream the show, and for some strange reason, they no longer have a nice, soft, kind of fade, soft transition to the image slideshows. So that's why you notice it's like, boom, it's very like stark. And I'm not digging that. Hopefully that's something that they're going to get fixed. Anywho, Planetoid is nearly 75% funded in its first few hours. And you can reserve a copy of the game as well as unlock stretch goals for a $22 pledge through March 22nd. Expected delivery of Planetoid is actually August of this year. Not too shabby. That's pretty quick. That's a pretty quick turnaround. Looks kind of interesting. Seems like it's kind of an all-age sort of game. It's ages like 8 and up. It's for 1 to 4 players and plays in about a half hour. So, kind of cool. Like I said, I am not familiar with Portal Dragon. I did take a look at their website. They've got some games, and John at Portal Dragon said, hey, I'm looking to spread the word a little bit more about our games. Got this new Kickstarter. Can I send you some of our games? And I said, sure, why not? So, swapped out cameras, so I forgot to close the, the lens cover on the other camera. Anywho, why do I keep saying anywho? Anyhow, I don't know. I'm off a little bit tonight. It's what happens when I'm running late, trying to throw stuff together. Although, I do believe we're not going to suddenly see oddball-like videos playing in the wrong spots or anything like that. Board looks a bit bland. Idea is cool, and the addition of an alien race to interfere with all the players is cool. Yeah, it does seem pretty interesting. It does seem pretty interesting, Ghost. Folks already know I do not share every Kickstarter that comes along. I'm very, very selective of what I do share. So, for the role players out there, Modiphius Entertainment and Bundle of Holding are teaming up to bring you huge savings on one of Modiphius's favorite and most popular RPG systems, and I've got the dope Freelancer. Oops, see? This is what I'm talking about. See how it's like really stark? It goes like, It's not a cool little fade in. And I was looking earlier today to find out if I was missing a setting or something like that, but no, not at all. Anywho, damn it, I said it again. Anywho, all right. I'm just goofy tonight, I guess. Anyway, Freelancer. This revived Mutant Chronicles bundle, originally presented in June 2017, I should say, is the first of 2 offers now in progress featuring Mutant Chronicles, the diesel punk techno fantasy tabletop role-playing game of future darkness, say that 5 times fast, from Modiphius Entertainment. With its fast-playing cinematic 2D20 system designed by Jay Little, Mutant Chronicles 3rd Edition, which came out in 2015, is a thrill ride across a solar system beset by mega-corporate intrigue and the invasion of a terrible alien force. Grab your Gehenna Puker. I don't know what that is. Strap on your shoulder pads and Punisher's short sword. Check your auto meds. I need my auto meds. And keep telling yourself you'll be back in time for Cardinals Day. The Dark Legion awaits. If you're new to Mutant Chronicles, for just $12.95, you get all 5 titles in the Offers Starter Collection, which have a retail value of $57, as PDF ebooks, including the complete 496-page Mutant Chronicles 3rd Edition rulebook, the Mutant Chronicles Player's Guide extracted from it, 2 player faction books about the mega-corporate nation-states of the solar system, Capital Sourcebook and Imperial Sourcebook, and the Mutant Chronicles Game Master screen with its 16-page Intrigue Initiator Adventure Generator. And if you pay more than this offer's threshold price of $19.95, it's like $7 more, you'll level up and also get this offer's entire bonus collection with 5 more supplements worth an additional $67, including the Dark Symmetry campaign that covers the setting's calamitous early history, and the Bauhaus, Mishima, Cybertronic, and Brotherhood sourcebooks. You can also check out this revived offer's all-new companion collection, the Mutant Darkness Bundle, with the Dark Legion and Dark Eden campaigns and the rest of the Mutant Chronicles line. You can learn more about these offers, of course, at the official Bundle Holding blog, Beyond the Bundle. 10% of each payment after gateway fees for these two Mutant Chronicles offers will be donated to the charity chosen by Chris Birch of Modiphius Entertainment, Vision Rescue. So, it appears to me, and Mutant Chronicles is pretty cool. I like the 2D20 system. It's maybe for some people, it's maybe a little more crunchy than they would like. But it appears with these two bundles of holding, you can get just about everything that has been published by Modiphius for Mutant Chronicles in PDF, of course, for about $40, maybe $45. Wow, you can't beat that. I mean, just think of how many core books are coming out there, 300 pages over on Drive-Thru RPG that are $30 now, $25 now. So you can get just about anything from Mutant Chronicles for about $45. So that's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. So, yeah, see, the transition from the slides to me has a nice little fade. But for some strange reason, going back to the slides, watch, here we go. Bang! There's like a delay to it too, so it's like, whoa, what's going on? Strange. But when I segue from the news slides to actual video feed, it's nice and so I don't know. I'm hoping this is something that's going to be fixed, because I don't like that. I don't dig that. That it just looks kind of cheesy how it's just like boom, just like that. Anyway, so Ghost World knows what time it is, because, yes, let's bring on down Lil Whizbub. There's Little Whizbub. Actually, you know what? Let me... Because I had mentioned this before. I mentioned I had picked up... Let's see if I can pull this down without knocking over something. Yes, I did. So I had mentioned I had gone to lilbub.com, the Lil Bub store at lilbub.com. That's where I got my Little Whizbub. So they had a special sale because they were changing their warehouse, and I was like, oh yeah. So I'm like, oh, so they had a Lil Bub, a stuffed Lil Bub. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I'll get that. It's about this big, I'm sure. No, it's not. It's like the size of a cat, but it's still cute. It's pretty cool. So anyway, as I mentioned, let me put that back. I'll just put the big Lil Bub off to the side here. Anyway, Ghost World knows what's coming, because if you are a fan of... Oh, and hey, Viper Dave's in. Howdy, Viper Dave. Good to see you. If you are a fan of the Daily Dope, as well as the GamingGang.com, then I have to ask, you consider to make a donation to Lil Bub's Big Fund and the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Yes, the ASPCA. This fund actually helps support special needs animals who are awaiting their forever homes or awaiting adoption. Now, they may be older pets, or maybe they have a disability, maybe they have mobility issues, or maybe they're deaf or blind, or possibly have some sort of disease that is controlled with medication, okay? Don't freak out. So, anyway, so Lil Bub's Big Fund has actually raised over $500,000 in the past few years, and Lil Bub herself is actually a special needs animal. There's a lot of different genetic issues. So, yeah, so, all right, hang on. Let me finish up here, and then I'll jump into, chat, because there's a lot of chat going on all of a sudden. So, anyway, so if you do dig the Daily Dope, if you like the GamingGang.com, I no longer operate for profit by any stretch of the imagination. I just ask, consider making a donation to the ASPCA and Lil Bub's Big Fund, because 100% of all funds are granted out to organizations that do care for special needs animals awaiting adoption. Okay, so, anyway, so, hey, no lag in the stream tonight. Yeah, so far so good. And I am seeing we did see some drop frames, but very few. Very few so far, so I don't know. Fingers crossed. CPU looks good. Everything looks pretty good. So, and I've changed the camera a little bit. So hopefully this camera with my mug is a little clearer, a little sharper. Not that I really want all the, details of my face. All that clear. Anyway, so, yes, so Ghost World's like Super XL Lil Bub. So, yeah, so it looks like we should be okay. So we should be all right as far as the stream and that. Yeah, last night, what a bummer, because that was a really, one of my most in-depth reviews in kind of how to plays that I've really ever done. And, the video is pretty much worthless now. I mean, it's up there. The audio is fine. So at least the audio is not choppy, because that would be like, oh my gosh, I can't even bother watching this. But I do know for a fact there are some folks out there, my friend Herman Lettman, game designer Herman Lettman, tends to actually listen to the show as opposed to watching the show. I believe he listens to it on his commute from Long Island every morning. So anyway, so what's coming up on shows this week? Well, I already talked about how I'm going to be unboxing and taking a first look at the Boldest here. I had a couple other items come from Stronghold Games, so they're going to be on next week's shows. But we got the driver's edition of Kanban. So this is kind of like an automotive automation game where players are each competing to, I believe, kind of create the most effective automated line for car construction in a factory. I think they're all in the same factory, so they're all kind of competing. So that's that. And then I got Forum Trajanum, which is kind of an ancient Rome game. So this looks kind of interesting too. I had actually requested these review copies from Steven and the Stronghold team. So those are going to be next week. But on tomorrow's show for Wargame Wednesday, I am going to unbox and take a first look at the deluxe edition of SPQR from my friends over at GMT Games. This had been out of print for quite some time. This game has been around for quite a while. So, but it had been out of print. So this is the new deluxe edition. So this is Ancients with Romans. So, and for some reason, now, I could read the back of the box and find out, but for some reason, I believe this is like the Second Punic War is what this tackles. So pretty hefty here. Then Thursday's show, I am going to take a first look at as the book fell onto the floor. I was snagging it before it flipped over. The Witcher RPG from R. Talsorian Games and CD Projekt Red. I know Ghost World is looking forward to this one. So I am going to crack this open and we will take a look through it. We will page through it live. Then on Friday's show, I'm going back to back with some RPG action. We are going to take a first look at the Adventures in Middle-earth Breland Region Guide, which is from my pals over at Cubicle 7 Entertainment across the pond. So this is, of course, this is the port of the One Ring Region Guide over to Adventures in Middle-earth. So if you enjoy your 5e Tolkien, you will definitely be digging that. All right, let's jump on into the Boldest, which is from Stronghold Games. Oh, wait a second. See, rats. What's going on here? Did this not bring my news item over here? It didn't. Huh, weird. Okay, well, I had a slide for the Boldest. And for some strange reason, when I copied the files over, it didn't copy over. All right, well, knew there was going to be some hiccup. Viper Dave says, I'm at a bar, so maybe their internet is better. Highly doubt it. I really doubt it. I think your home the internet is probably better than the bars. Although, I wouldn't be mind kicking back having a couple myself right now. Alright, so The Boldest is from Stronghold Games. It's designed by Sophia Wagner with artwork provided by Max Prentice. The game is for 2 to 5 players, ages 10 and up, plays in around 30 to 90 minutes. So I'm going to take a wild guess that additional players are really going to kind of boost up the playtime. The Boldest is not available yet. It is on the horizon. It will arrive in stores on March 6th. And it's going to carry an MSRP of $79.95. Huh. That MSRP seems kind of high. But I don't know. We have not taken a look at this yet. But this doesn't strike me as an $80 game coming out, out the chute. So let's flip this on over. Let's take a look here. Take a look at the back. It says the forgot. Well, you know what? Let's get rid of the shrink, because that's probably creating a bit more glare than we need. Now, still got glare. Forgotten creatures of the forest awoke from their slumber, and nobody knows for sure what is lurking in the Iron Valley. You followed the call of your king. Now it's time for heroic deeds. Defeat mechanical monsters, retrieve enigmatic artifacts, use helpful items, and lead your faction to glory. Each round you form 3 groups of heroes. Plan ahead and portion your power, because only the strongest groups can take part in the expeditions into the forest. Excuse me. Use your cooks to get new adventures. I should say, use your cooks to get new adventurers with special abilities for your faction. Can you read your opponents well enough? Then forestall them. Explore the Iron Valley and collect the most experience. Only this way will you be known in the legends as the Boldest. The Boldest. I have to say, this art style is very unique. And I have to wonder if Max Prentice was... hey, that was the box. That wasn't me. That was the box doing that. I wonder if Max Prentice, one of his influences would happen to be the French artist Mobius. Because the artwork has a real Mobius kind of flavor to it. A real kind of feel like Mobius. Hopefully, the video here is also a little sharper, a little clearer. So, because I have 2 different cameras that I can kind of swap out. And the other camera, I can basically, with the other camera, I couldn't autofocus, or I can't change the focus. It's automatically an autofocus, or I don't necessarily want an autofocus. Yeah, blame it on the box. Getting a little bit blurry. Okay, well, we'll find out. We'll see how this looks. Anyway, so components. What's in the box? So we got a double-sided board. We've got different screens, flag tiles, planning tables, 1 per faction, 5 hamlets, 1 per faction, a central tableau with the king's tent, got 180 hero cards, got fire cards, starting artifact cards, so we've got 140 forest cards. Alright, so this is our setup. So we've got a lot of cards there. So it's arriving in camp is basically what the setup is. Game idea. The right of the strongest. The king wants to know more about the forest to uncover its secrets. The factions are competing for the right to take part in the expeditions to the forest. They form groups of heroes from which the king only selects the strongest to venture into the forest. This way, the groups safely return with defeated monsters, mysterious artifacts, and discovered items. Alright, so I'm a sucker for fantasy games. What can I say? What can I say? Goal of the game is the journey into the unknown. Structure of a round. Day in the Iron Valley. It's a day in the Iron Valley. Got a planning phase. Action phase. The classes, what can they do? So we've got warrior, tactician, hunters, cooks, and we also have pets. Okay. And then we got a reset phase. Game end. Who becomes a legend? Probably not me. Nah, probably not. 2-player game. There can be only one. Okay, so then we have adventurer's special abilities. Okay. That's just showing us like a card count. Looks like it's card count here. How many of each of these are in here? Okay. Paper Tales and Australia. I reviewed both of those recently, and I enjoyed both of those. Both are very good games. Very cool. All right, so that is the rule book. What do we have here? About 10 pages? Not even, really. 9. 8, I guess. If we want to really be official on that. So there we go. So we got the rules there. So this is the board. Pretty good sized board. Let's unfold this out. Dual-sided? Yep, it is dual-sided. So should I take... Yeah, there we go. I was going to say, I'm going to take a guess. The board is probably one size for 2 players, and it is. It's for 2 and 3 players. 2 and 3 players is this side. And then 4 or 5 players is going to be this side. Yep. All right, so, and of course, obviously enough, you'll be laying cards out here. So that's the board. All right, so what do we have here? Okay, so these are the player boards. Were they the planning boards? Oh no, I'm sorry. These are the Hamlet boards, I think. I think that's what it was saying, Hamlet boards. Oh, so Ghost Roll was like, wow, it's getting getting awfully blurry. The feed's getting really kind of blurry, and it's like, oh, whoops. No, had my settings down to 144p. What is that? Is that like the size that you use to watch on like your Dick Tracy watch? That'd have to be pretty small. Okay, so we've got whoa. This just popped right out. So I think these are like your heroes. I think your heroes go here. I think this is the Hamlet board. These are kind of thin. Kind of surprised. I would have thought maybe been a little thicker cardstock. In fact, they're thinner than that. There's 2 together. Wow. Well, they're cut nicely because look, that just popped right on out. That's yeah, that's a little thin. So I wonder, I'll take a guess. I'm wondering if, yeah, there you go. Right there, right up in the corner, it's showing the little 2-player icon, and then that's for 3 or more. So I guess with the 2 players, maybe you're only utilizing 2 heroes. That's a possibility. So we got that. So I think this is where you put your heroes. This is your Hamlet, I'm pretty positive is what they were saying. So it seems like we've got like an area for characters to rest, and maybe areas for characters to get drunk. Don't know. All right, so dual-sided. They're looks identical. Doesn't look like there's any changes between player count. Okay, so we got those. So we've got 5 of these because it's up to 5 players. Okay, so then we've got different flags. So I'm taking a guess each of the factions. We're going to take one of these banners. And then I think that's is that the King's Tent? I think that's what it may have been saying is on the King. That might be the King's Tent marker. I don't know what this is. This is almost like a robotic suit. Huh, that's kind of interesting. I don't know. Okay, so these are your, yeah. These are going to be your shields, your screens. So it's going to show you. I can see this is pretty language independent. So you're going to have your screens here. Got just a couple of folds, like so. Stand that up. Oh. Yeah, kind of angled. It's angled a little bit too. Okay, all right. So, hey, quit looking. Stop looking at my stuff. Anyway, so I have to ask Ghost or Dave, if you're still watching, how is the quality of this video? Is this pretty sharp right now? I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Okay, so it looks like we've got... Okay, so we got 5 of those. 5 of this... Well, do we have... Yeah, we got... No, we got 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, these are stuck together again. Alright, so that's that. Okay, yeah, there we go. There's the other screen. I was like, hey, only seeing 4 screens. There's 5. There's the 5 of those. Okay, and then we go into the different cards. Let's get the cards out. And then we got a little baggie holding other baggies. Well, I don't know what you would be putting in the baggies unless you're going to separate the cards. But that doesn't... I don't know. Maybe you'll separate the cards using the baggies. I don't know. I don't see any counters or anything like that. So, Ghost says, yeah, thumbs up for me. Looks great. Very smooth. Cool. Excellent. So, maybe there was a method to my madness working on this stuff today. So, let's keep our fingers crossed. As far as the glare, there's not much that I can really do because there's no... Even if I did this in the afternoon, when I first started doing the show, I was doing it in the afternoons. There's no way, there's absolutely no natural light down here. So, unfortunately, I have to use lights. And, yeah, I get a little bit of glare. So, not a whole lot I can do about that the way it's set up. Now, of course, people who do reviews and stuff like that, who actually film their stuff and then edit it and things like that, yeah, they can easily set up lighting in that doesn't produce any glare because they're not actually sitting at someplace talking and, you know, having a camera here, having a camera here where I'm turning to this and things like that. So that's something else I'm trying to work on, but not much I can do about the glare. So let's see. Let's grab my hobby knife here. Let's open some of these up. I shouldn't say some. Let's just open them up. Okay, come on. There we go. All right, so it looks like here we've got maybe some heroes and animals. Let's see. The backing are no. These are light. These are dark. Okay, what do we got here? These are dark. There's a few more of those. All right, then we got green. We have to wonder if these coincide with the different factions, if these are specific faction cards here. I'll tell you in a sec. Yes, they are, because there are the banners. So the players are each going to have some of their faction cards. So we've got some of the, looks like these are heroes. Okay, I dig the artwork. The artwork is very, very cool. But there's like 5 copies of this. 1, 2, 3, 3 copies of this. I'm guessing that's a hunter. Guessing that's the cook, right? It's taking a wild stab. It's the cook with the pot, or it's like a big kettle on her back. I'm guessing that's one of the technicians. Maybe another hunter. Oh, wait. I think this guy was a warrior. I think that's a warrior. I think this is a technician. And then this is a hunter. So, that is that faction. Are they all going to be... Nope, they're going to be different. Okay, cool. So, different cook. different warrior. The inside of the box looks more like it's for a sci-fi game. I get the impression that this might be a setting. Let's see. Odd though, the interior box art with rusted metal doesn't look like it fits with the fantasy theme. I sort of have the impression this might be a setting that's supposed to be kind of like post-apocalyptic, but so far into the future that technology is like magic. Oh, look, they got it. This group's got a pet. That looks like it's like a giant otter. What the hell? Okay. Well, yeah, I sort of have the impression that it might be almost a well, now Gamma World was always more sci-fi, but more kind of gonzo sci-fi. But that's sort of the impression I'm getting here. Okay, so there's the cook. Yeah, because kind of, you know, look at that. That's almost like it's like body armor, but more of like a science fiction style. Kind of a sci-fi body armor there. Yeah, in fact, there's a technician. The helmet that technician's wearing looks looks science fiction to me. Yeah, and then we got a beret on the hunter. So, yeah, that's my wild stab. My wild stab is that this is supposed to be kind of a, you know, what is it? Necromunda. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I should say Numenaria. Numenaria's setting is kind of like where it's supposed to be like way, way in the future, and ancient technologies are like magic. All right, so this is the cook that I saw before in the artwork. I was kind of like, okay. I was like, well, as soon as I saw this was one of the character cards in a preview, I was like, this game's gonna be different, because it's sort of like, okay, I'm like battle cook with my giant knife strapped on my back. All right, so yeah, this artwork is really nice. Really, really well done. There's just all these little details to these too, where it's kind of like, oh wow, I want to take a look. I want to sit there taking a look at this. Yeah, look at the boots there. The boots are obviously not, you know, medieval. So, but supposedly this game is kind of like got a fantasy vibe to it. All right, then their animal is a cat. What was the animal here? I didn't see that. Oh, there we go. A mutant frog, no doubt. A giant frog. Okay, let's see what we got for the last faction. Anybody want some bread? So we got, there's the cook. Wow, that looks pretty cool. Sort of like, is that supposed to be like siding he's wearing his armor? It's like, okay. There's your tech. There's the hunter. Oh, looks like a pretty nasty sort of crossbow. And then they've got a dog. So that's their animal companion. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. So we've got, these are light. I guess these are probably other heroes that you can hire, or you can recruit to your team. There's quite a few of these. Looks like there's like it's almost like there's 3 copies of each. No, there's only 2 of her. But as we can see, there's, you know, there's differences between them. She's got a sword icon, and then he's got those 2 little boxes here. Oh, he's got 2 swords. Oh, see now we're getting like single characters, 3 swords. Okay, and then we got that technician there. There's a few of those. A few of this one too. Yeah, it's good. This has got to be kind of a sci-fi, science fantasy setting because that looks like that's an this prosthetic leg, prosthetic foot, from like maybe from like the knee down. Okay. I'll tell you what. Well, I was going to say the artwork's certainly worth the price of admission, but then again, it's got an MSRP of $80. I don't know if I want to say that. There we go. Go says, top left corner, the symbol in white is their class. Yeah, that's what I figure. That's what I'm guessing that's the tech. Then now we get the animal. He's the warrior. That I believe that's supposed to be a hunter. And then the cook has like the skillet or pot, whatever you want to consider that, in the upper corner there. Okay, so then these are dark. Are these just animals? No. So we've got light and we've got dark. But it looks like we've got kind of the same, because this is the same artwork, same characters again. Well, these look different. Very, very interesting. Okay, so we've taken a look at a lot of the art on these. So these are all... Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that image. That's pretty sweet. Okay, so we got all these different characters. So we got all the different characters, and we've got the different factions here. So we got the faction characters. So these are all the factions, and we've got the dark backing deck, and then we've got the lighter backing deck. Then these look like these cards are items, artifacts, things like that. So let's open these up. These all have the same backing. I got to admit, though, the card stock is kind of thin. And granted, you could sleeve these pretty easily. It's a little tougher to get sleeves like these. So the backs are all the same. Yep. Backs are all the same there. Let's see the backs here. Yep. Oh, no. What's that? Max Prentice, illustrator. Cool. Like I said, very, very, very interesting artwork. Very cool. Top notch. Top notch art. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. So it looks like we've got some items. So it looks like this is some sort of a weapon. Got a few of these. Oh, quite a few of those. Don't know. I don't know if that's like for some sort of tech thing, but yes, obviously, yeah. This is not. This is not like Greyhawk. This Greyhawk is not the setting for this. It is all science fantasy stuff. So okay, so we got a bunch of those. Got like a dual chainsaw. That's pretty cool. A few of these. It's like almost like a tape deck. Or if it's like a data deck. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4. So at least we're starting to see things that are little like there's like quite a lot of these, like six of these cards here. But at least those were these were like individual, one of each. Let's see if we're gonna get back into So we'll have some stuff that's these are color coded too. But the thing is, we don't have a purple faction, so these colored borders must indicate what this is supposed to be. Like item, artifact, what have you. And the numbers might be the value of the artifact, the rarity of the artifact, maybe. Looks like we kind of the same art on some of these, though. All right, so we got 11 all the way up to 11. It's like Spinal Tap. It goes to 11. Okay, what we got over here? Ah, okay. So now... Okay, so... I guess that's maybe you draw one of the light cards. You recruit somebody when you encounter this. Maybe not, no. I don't know. Well, of course, when you read the rules and get to play, then you start to find out. These look like these might be enemies that you gotta fight. It's gonna be my stab in the dark. Maybe because there's the reticle right there. I don't know. It's 2 3s. Maybe this is the like what you have to overcome strength-wise. 4. That's the 5. So we've got some. So they look like they're all mechanical monsters, which I think in the rules it was talking about. The mechanical monsters. So yeah, so Ghost is saying the completely square cards bother me. Yeah, because really, I maybe they're floating around out there. I don't know, but I wouldn't think like perfectly square card slaves are going to be easy to track down. But yeah, it does look like orange are monsters, purple are artifacts, and gray are items. So let's see. Yeah. That's actually, well, looks like that's a guy. Just loaded down and stuff. Alright, cool. Yeah, some sort of like bat thing. A unicorn. Wow. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. Ooh, and that's a 10. We're going to go up to 11? Yes, we are. We're going to 11. So we got those, and then we're back to the purple. 2, 3, 4, 5s, up to 6. Okay, so so we also have, and I'm not sure what these are going to be for. So I do not know. All right. So then we've got the items, the artifacts, and the monsters for these square cards here. Goes in there. Okay, and then we've got the board. Let's grab the board here. The dual-sided board, depending on the player count. So we've got that. We've got the rules, and we've got the various different screens and little player boards. And that is what we find when we take everything from the Boldest outside the box. I will actually be reviewing the Boldest probably within the next couple of weeks. I'm sure it'll be within the next couple of weeks. But maybe I'll get to play it this weekend. And maybe get a review of it out there before it hits stores. That'd be nice. I always like when I can get some reviews out there before the games actually arrive on shelves. So give people a little bit of a heads up. All right, so that is it for tonight's show. As I always like to say when you're out watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, please visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. By now you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night. I will be back tomorrow as we take a look at SPQR from GMT Games. And, as always, thank you very much for watching. Thanks again for watching The Daily Dope, presented by The Gaming Gang. If you like this episode, be sure to give it a quick thumbs up. And if you dig the channel, please subscribe. If you'd like to check out our previous episode, click right here. And if you want to check out a somewhat randomly selected episode, give a click right down here. It'll be like opening a box of Cracker Jacks. You just don't know what you'll get. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'm Jeff McAleer.